Hi everybody, and welcome back to Dorking with this Kenwood. I know the first part of this video was, well, a little retarded, I might add, and that's okay, because I myself am a little retarded, and that's okay. After shooting that video, thought it'd be kind of cool to play with it a little bit more in depth. This time I was playing with it and looking at the results on the O-scope to see what the signal looked like, and also on the frequency counter to see if it did anything. I'm not really going to show it on the frequency counter. There's really nothing exciting happening there. The digits moved a little bit, but then they went right back to my input signal. The most fun of this rendition of the video, we're just going to look at the scope. I don't even have my light. I only have one light turned on. That's why it's dark. Well, not as illuminated as one should be. And we're really not going to focus the camera on this. We're going to look at the scope and dork at the scope. I'll hog holler out what I'm doing. So I've got two signals fed into this on both the left and the right channel. One side is a mono and the other side is a stereo. Let me aim you at the scope. That is the scope. And that's pretty much what you're going to look at right there. So what you're looking at is input coming from my my workbench stereo, from the output into the input of the reverb, and then to the output into the O-scope. And this signal here that you're looking at, stereo, so this right here is your left channel and that's your right channel. Let me go ahead and turn the reverb section on, and I will go ahead and play with the dials. And of course I'm in the dark and I can't really see what I'm playing with. Okay, so that is the depth. As you can see, increase the depth. It did change the waveform. And we are listening to music. That is a music input. That's a horrible music input. Let me see if I can find something different. Okay, we can't play that very long. As you can tell, that is some mighty fine commercial rock and roll. So this is just going to be a visual thing. Here we're going to go ahead and turn the depth back up, now that we got a grasp at what's playing. So that's all the way up, and I'm on effect number 2, only because that's where I started and didn't realize it. Let me go ahead and turn the reverb up all the way. And so that's it there. Let me turn this all the way down on both. So we're back to flatline, normal. I'm going to switch over to effect number 1. And right here is effect number 1. Now I'm going to turn the depth all the way up. And there's the depth all the way up. Let's go ahead and change the reverb time all the way up. And there you go. And now we're back down on both. So as you can see, waveform, it really does, well, it does its job. Messes it up. Now let me go ahead and toggle over to my input signal. And here you're looking at a mono signal fed into both channels. And this is a 400 hertz sine wave signal. Now this is where it's really going to get kind of cool to some degree. Alright, so here we go. This is the depth I'm turning up right now. And you can see the pattern there is changing. Looks like one of those branding iron things that you know you score cattle with. Or maybe we got a snake going over a mountain of some sort. Who knows? Alright, now the next thing I'm going to adjust is the reverb time. And you can see that snake is changing. And so we got multiples of that. Alright, so that's all the way there at the end. Now I wish I was technical enough to tell you exactly what in the world is happening here. I can't, because I'm not. But what I'm thinking is happening is we're changing octaves, or it's sine wave that's really plastered. Got some of that good Hams beer. So I've got the reverb adjusted somewhere, not all the way up, that's for sure. I'm going to adjust the depth now. It's currently wide open, so let's bring that down a wee. Wee. Woo. Hey, some of you know that feeling on a bender, Friday, Saturday night. Come Monday morning at least. I don't drink. Well, I do, but not alcohol. I'm more of a tea guzzler. I drink my weight in tea. That's no doubt. So there you go. That is fun and exciting, I'm sure. So what else can we do? Now, if I go higher up in frequency, the pattern here really stops changing. Just when I hang low in frequency, do I get to see this, pretty awesome. I'm not sure why it affects it in higher frequencies. Let's go ahead and just for GP, just because you're here, I'm here. So there's a 2000 hertz signal, and let me turn everything down. So let me go ahead and crank the depth up. Alright, that's the depth, full bore. Let me go ahead and adjust the reverb. See, not as cool, not as fun. It's kind of trippy though. That's me just spinning the knob really fast. That is, I know. Let me go ahead and drop it down to 60 hertz. I'm not going to mess with that. Well, okay. My refresh rate on this scope sucks. It's one thing I miss about a DSO. Alright, so here we are at 60 hertz. Yeah, I know it's flashing. Refresh rate sucks. Here we go. We're turning up the depth. That's the depth all the way. Let's go ahead and turn up the reverb. And there you go. So pretty much the same as we saw at 400 hertz. So speaking of 400 hertz, let me go ahead and change it back. And we can get rid of all this flashy, blinky stuff. Alright, so you're thinking, Jack, that's a total waste of time, space, and continuum junk. I agree, but you're here, you're watching the video, so we're wasting time together. Let's go ahead and put this on the XY axis. And now we're going to look at, I don't speak French, I can't tell you what it's called, Lasorius or LaSalle or, I don't know, Le Choix. Some of you know what it is, some of you can pronounce it. Cool. So here we are in phase. Let me make some adjustments. Maybe not that kind of adjustment. Alright, we'll just leave it there. So here we are in phase, and it looks like the might be a little blown out. Let me turn down my intensity for those that are getting drunk at home. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and turn up the delay. As I said, we're in phase here. And I'm cranking the delay up. Ta-da! Look at that. We got us a circle. I broke it. Alright, so now we're going to turn up the reverb time. And I'm still spinning the knob. Well, that's kind of cool. So that's spinning fast. That's just me rotating the knob really fast. It's kind of cool. And so I'm still spinning the reverb time. Let's go ahead and turn this all back down. And let's go ahead and go to effect number 2. And let's turn up the depth. And that's the depth all the way up. Let's go ahead and adjust the reverb time. And as you see, pretty much the same thing. Again, spinning it fast. Alright, so let me turn this down. Let's go ahead and go to 60 Hertz. You know what? Let's do 50 Hertz for our friends across the pond. Alright, so there's 50 Hertz. For those of you that are in the 50 Hertz land, let's go ahead and turn up the depth. See what happens. Oh, got a little tiny circle. Let's go ahead and turn up the reverb time. That's it. And if I spin that fast, then as you see, some kind of an egg beater looking thing. Let's turn those down. Let's go back to effect number 1. And that's all the way up on the depth, and let's do reverb. So if you notice, it flips vertical to horizontal right here, and then our next rotation we flip side to side, left to right as we're looking at it. So it turns a full 360 in all directions. So that's kind of cool. For the guys that are into audio, you probably understand this a lot better than I. I do have one audio engineer in my viewing audience that probably understand this a lot more than us and tripping on it. Let's go ahead and drop this down in frequency. Let's see, we're at 50 Hertz. Why don't we just go to 5 Hertz? Ta-dum. Now we got that thing. Guess I should have turned stuff down. So let's go ahead and turn the depth up. And then there is the reverb time. Turn those down, and now we're going to go to effect number 2, turning up the depth, and now let's turn up the reverb time. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave those set right there. I'm going to turn up the gain, the amplitude on my tone generator, and put it in a little bit of saturation, or just give it more gain. And now I'm going to turn down my reverb time. And turn down the depth. And I would imagine the same is going to look on the other effect. Let's go ahead and adjust the frequency to 1 Hertz. All of a sudden a Partridge Family song pops into my head. How many of you know that song? So okay, there we go. We turned up the depth all the way, and here is the reverb time all the way. Let's go ahead and make some adjustments on the scope. So that's 1 hertz. Let's go ahead and crank down things. So there I just turned down the reverb all the way. And let's turn down the depth. Let's switch over to effect number 1. I'm sure it's going to be the same story, but we're here. Let's get her done. Let's turn up the depth all the way. And now let's turn up the reverb all the way. Turn down the depth a little bit. Okay. Let's go to 10 hertz, I think it was. I forgot what my testing earlier was, so let's turn up the depth. Make some adjustments here. Can't remember. I think it might have been 11 hertz that I did some testing. Let's go ahead and turn up the depth. Isn't that cool? And let's turn up the reverb time. At this point, I'd like to introduce to you a really expensive Etch-a-Sketch, or cool Etch-a-Sketch. And again, we're at 10 hertz, and the gain on my signal, my audio generator, is probably at about 1 o'clock. It's a little bit past halfway. That's cool. Alright, I just changed 11 hertz. So I think that's where I was tested earlier and I saw a cool pattern. Turn my gain up a little more. And let's play around with some knobs here. Well, I guess I should have wrote down the pattern I saw that I thought was cool. At what frequency and all that good stuff. Oh well. This here is 20 hertz. Gain is still up. And so that's the depth that's all the way up. And the reverb's all the way up. So now I'm adjusting the reverb down. And now I'm going to adjust the depth all the way down. I'm going to turn the gain up more on my audio generator. just because I hadn't before, and so this will be new to me. And now I'm going to turn the depth all the way up. So I would imagine what's happening here is we're just in a lot of oversaturation. Hey, that's a cool pattern. I like that. Hey, somebody take a picture of that for me, will you? I want a 8x10 and some wallet size, please. Oh, that's cool. You know, that almost looks like the pattern that you're looking for when you're tuning up an FM radio. Almost. Some musical notes. Who could decipher that in the musical notes? That looks like either a knife or an old pipe wrench. A double-headed pipe wrench. There you go. Okay, well, I reckon that's enough playing around with that. So I just turned off the audio generator. I have the depth and the reverb all the way down, and I'm going to toggle over to the radio. Let me adjust my light here just a little bit. And here is the radio. Turn up the light just a little more. There we go. Alright, let me go ahead and hit the reverb on that. Oh no, yeah, I can I? Yes, I can. Of course, it's not really going to mean anything. So let me go ahead and turn up the delay. As you can see, it made that blob even more blobbier. And now I'm going to turn up the reverb time. And that's it. There's effect number 2. Oops, there we go. Okay, so that's what you're looking at. Turn down the depth, the reverb, and now we're turning down the depth. Don't quote me on this, but I think this is called ain't this called a spaddle? S-P-A-T-I-A-L. Could be wrong on that. Probably am. Alright, well that will do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this time waster. And I wanted to share that with you in case you've never seen what it looked like on the scope. I hadn't until I did today, so that's kind of cool. Thanks for watching my very, very cheesy video. I do appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe, like, share, get drunk, whatever you want. I don't care. Whatever you have, make it a big one. Talk to you later. Bye.